Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and to another unboxing video. I hope you're all doing well. So as you can see, it's something a little bit different for the channel today. We're unboxing the brand new core set for Star Wars Shatterpoint. Now I apologise if there's any camera wobble during this early part of the video. It's just that my filming arm is extended to its maximum extension because this thing is absolutely huge. I wasn't quite prepared for how massive this box is and the amount of stuff you get in it. I've already had the cellophane off because it was just reflecting my lights, and I have had a quick look inside the box, but I've not actually opened anything, and it is jam-packed with stuff. But to start off with, let's just talk about the box itself. It's absolutely gorgeous. The artwork on the front of it is really nice, and all around the box, if I just lift it up, it's got artwork all around it that is really well presented. And look at the depth of that box. It's absolutely jammed with stuff. And again, if I turn it around, there's stuff on the side, and if I just turn it over, you can see we've got pictures of the miniatures on the back there and all the terrain that you get. It does say you get 16 miniatures, but if we count the B1 battle droids individually, even though they're on one base, it is actually 20 miniatures in total, which is pretty good. And for the amount of plastic that you get in this box, I think the value is actually really quite good. Let's put that back down a sec. So what we'll do in this video is we'll get the box open, we'll take a look at all the stuff inside just very quickly, and then we'll have a closer look at some assembled miniatures towards the end of the video. I'll get a little bit of terrain built and then I'll assemble the miniatures and we can take a look at them. So first things first, let's get the box open. Again, as I said, I apologise if there's any camera wobble. It's just that because this thing is so huge, it's just hard to fit everything in the shot. And what I'll do is I'll just turn the box this way to make things a little bit easier. So the first thing you can see, we've got a piece of card there, Star Wars Shatterpoint, but if we turn it over, this is actually instructions for something quite cool that you get in the box. We actually get an art backdrop for photographing your miniatures. Now, I think this is quite a cool touch because it's Star Wars and these miniatures are quite a lot bigger than your normal scale of miniature. I think they're about 40mm. So the fact that you get this piece of artwork that you can fold and put in a light box or put in the lid of the box if you like, and take some nice pictures of your miniatures, I think that's pretty cool. And we get like a Hoth Vista on the other side as well, so that's a really nice touch. Next thing, we've got our core rules. Again, we've got that really cool artwork on the front of the rules there, and flicking through it, there is some nice artwork all through the book. Now, the rules are available on the Star Wars Shatterpoint website, and I think they have actually just updated the rules ever so slightly to cover off a few questions about cover and things like that. But all through this book, there's some really nice art. Everything's well presented. There's all sorts of little snip outs there, if you like, if you forgive the pun, where it's just explaining rules in a little bit of detail or with a different point and stuff like that. As you can see, tons of artwork in there. So really nice looking rule book. It's not too thick, you know, it's not like a massive Bible full of rules. And I think once you sort of pick up the basics of the game, it is a lot more straightforward than it actually does seem to begin with. So let's move that out of the way. Next thing, we've got our tokens. So we've got damage tokens, we've got, I think that's hunker token, objective control, we've got disarm, objectives, so that's the inactive side, and if we flip it over, we've got active, wounded and injured tokens, objective control again. I think that one is pinned, but there's also some shove tokens as well. But yep, there's all your tokens, punch out tokens there. And then of course we've got all our plastic. So to start off with, it looks like we've got a lot of terrain, and it is a massive chunk of terrain and some bases as well. So as I said, what I'll do is I'll build up a little bit of terrain towards the end of the video so we can take a look. And I've also, by the way, ordered some magnet discs to go in the bottom of these bases. So that is 32mm. So there's a few online retailers where you can get magnetic discs that are self-adhesive. Put them in there and then get one of those storage containers and put a magnetic receptive sheet in the bottom, and then you can store your miniatures in those if that's how you like to do things. Then don't think you're done here, because you're not. Take this piece of card out and there's actually more to come. So if we take this one out, again, more plastic. These are all our individual squad miniatures, so your droids, your Jedi, Gar Saxon, the Mandalorian, stuff like that, and some more terrain as well. Again, we'll build some of those up and take a look. Again, more terrain and some bases. Let's move that to one side. I'm running out of room on the desk, such is the amount of stuff you get in this box. And then under here, we've got our momentum and struggle tokens, which I'll explain in a second. We've got our dice, unit cards, and we've got the momentum, the struggle as well, which I'll show you in a sec. So we've got all our cards: struggle cards, mission cards, unit cards and stance cards. Nice artwork on each one, that's really cool. We'll take a look at those as well. Our dice, I think there's just about enough in the box to see you through, but you can get an extra dice pack at launch as well. And then this is the struggle tracker. So to start off with, what happens is each player gets one of these black momentum tokens on either end, and then this is the struggle token, which starts off in the middle. And then by carrying out various things in the game, like controlling objectives, you move your struggle tracker towards your side of the board, or towards your side of the counter if you like. And you can do things like wounding an enemy player will grant you an extra one of these, so you might end up with 2 or even 3 here. Or if you manage to move the struggle counter back towards your side, but you don't quite get past 0 and it lands on 0, or it lands there and you're on this side, you then get another momentum token to bring things closer, and then whoever gets the struggle tracker onto one of their black momentum tokens wins that struggle, and it's 3 struggles per game. So a really nice way of controlling the game. I think that's pretty cool. So as you can see, it's a massive box, we get tons of stuff in it. So what I'm going to do now is pause the video, I'm going to get some miniatures built up, I'll get a little bit of the terrain built up, and we'll also take a look at some of the cards and things like that. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we've got some of the stuff out of the box to take a look at. So we've got all our cards, we've got a couple of the dice, and we've also got some miniatures and terrain built up as well. I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more built, but yesterday I was at UK Games Expo, which was awesome by the way. So at the time of recording this video, Sunday evening, I've not quite gotten as much built as I would have liked, but we've got enough to take a look at. But we'll start with the cards. So you get 12 unit cards in the box, we get 12 stance cards, 14 order cards, 1 mission card and 9 struggle cards. But we'll start off with the unit cards. So each unit in the core set has got one of these cards. It'll tell you if it's a force user or not, what era it's from, and what abilities that character has. And there's also information on injuries and wounds. And if we turn it over, again it tells you what era it's from. It'll tell you if it's a supporting unit, a secondary unit, or a primary unit. And at the top of each card you've either got squad points or your points cost. So for example, Sarge Ventress, she's a primary unit, 8 squad points, so she can take Kalani as a secondary unit at 5 and your B1 battle droids at 3 points to make a strike team. They're all from the same era, so all good, that forms a strike team. And again, for example, Rex there is a secondary unit, Anakin is your primary at 7 squad points, and the 501st, can just find them at 3 squad points. So again, you can make a strike team. They're all from the same era, and each card has got some really nice artwork on it. Nice size cards as well, you're not going to be squinting when you're looking at these. So moving on, let's take a look at the stance cards. So again, each user has got one of these cards. Your stance cards have all the information on your ranged and melee attacks, what dice you need to roll for attack or what dice you need to roll for defense, and also some information on your combat trees, so when you're dealing damage you can go either way on these. And interestingly, some users also have 2 sides to these. So for example, Ahsoka's got 2 sides, but if we look at Bo-Katan, she's just got the one side on her stance card. Maul has 2 sides as well. I believe one of them is active and one of them is inactive. I think one's called Dark Rage or something like that, which is pretty cool. And also you've got your expertise charts here as well. So for example, if we take a look at the attack and defense dice, so if we look at the attack dice, you get 8 of these. You've got strike, you've got critical strike, and you've got failure, and you've got attack expertise. And again with the defense dice, you get 6 of these. We've got block, we've got failure, or we've got defense expertise. So depending on what's going on in the game and what expertise roles you might have, you can actually convert them into different results. So I'm not going to go too deep into that, but it's a pretty cool mechanic and something that you'll find out when playing the game. It can really change the way combat works and give you that little bit of luck when you need it possibly. Moving on to the order cards. So again, all these cards have got really nice artwork on them. Each unit has got order cards, and these determine what order your units will activate in a given struggle or a given turn. So you shuffle these and you place them face down and you draw them, and that will determine what order you play them at. So for example, if you do that one first, you'll be activating Ahsoka. Also, there's 2 Shatterpoint cards. Now these are like a wild card. If you draw one of these, I believe that any unit in your strike team can be played, even if you've already activated that unit. So that's pretty cool. Moving on, you only get 1 mission card in the core set. So if we take a look at the mission card, it gives you any special rules that you've got. the name of the mission, and then all the information on setting up your objectives. There's a mission set symbol as well, so you get various missions from different mission sets. And if we look at our struggle cards, these are played in order, so struggles 1, 2 and 3, I think that's correct. And if we turn it over, these struggle cards will tell you what objectives are active and what are not active, and also they'll give you the mission set symbol as well. So presumably when more come along, there'll be different mission set symbols and stuff like that. So they're all your cards. As I said, I'm not going too deeply into these because this is really just showing you what's in the box, and I know what we want to look at. It's all the grey plastic. So I've not built too many of the characters, but I have built up Rex to begin with, and this is a really nice miniature. I was looking forward to getting this one, I think more than any of the others, to be honest with you. The helmet is really nice. It's got the helmet details sculpted in actually, so you don't have to freehand those symbols on. If you're very careful, you can just use like a blue wash or something and just drop that in there on the white, so that's a nice touch. You also get a bear head for Rex as well, which is pretty cool, so if you want to go for that option, you can do that. We've got a Sarge Ventress, again a really nice miniature. I was scared of clipping this one off the sprue because the lightsabers are really small and flimsy, but no issues. Again, it's a really nice miniature. The contact points for the cloak were at the bottom and at the top where the body joins the waist. So that's cool that there were no gate points on the side of these cloaks, if you like. There is a little bit of gap filling to do and filing, which I've done. Maybe just tidy that up a little bit before I paint it. But a really nice miniature, and again, looking forward to getting that painting, if not a little bit scared of breaking the sabers. And then another one, Anakin Skywalker. Again, this is a really nice sculpt. I love the face on this one. I think they've done a cracking job. So again, as I said, really good contact points on the sprues for where the miniature joins, so you're not cutting off anything right in the center of like your fabric or anything like that. Again, a nice miniature, quite pleased with that one. And there is a contact point for the lightsaber, so when you're clipping it off the sprue, just be very careful when you're doing that. In fact I think I'm going to lay that down. I've also built up some of the terrain, and you can see Bo-Katan just leaning on it there. So this one, it doesn't stand up on its own unless it's glued to a base. I haven't glued mine to the bases yet because I want to paint them off the base and paint the bases separate. Again, this is a really nice miniature, sculpted helmet details, so to bring that into focus. And you also get a bear head option for this one as well. So that's quite cool that you've got the choice for a couple of these characters. And also we've got some various bits of terrain. You get 8 of these crates in the box. Now I've glued a few of them together and I've left some loose, just that I didn't want 8 loose ones knocking about. I just think it makes a more interesting terrain piece having these ones glued together. And then I've built a couple of the larger pieces of terrain as well. So this is all quite modular. You can actually build it however you want, but I've done this one how it tells you to do it in the instructions. So it's like a communications antenna here, top and bottom, and it just glues on at the top. And then for this one, the tech shed, nice details on here as well. You've got some like weathering marks and stuff that you can put some washes in. It's modular, so you can fit this computer console on the top. You could leave it with the hatch, or you can also fit a radar dish on the top there as well. But the most important piece of terrain in the box, and quite possibly the greatest character in the box as well, is this Lothcat, this Tuka, sat on a buried astromech. This is my favourite piece from the core set, and I think this is the first thing I'm going to be painting. So not Rex, I'm definitely going to do this one. I really love this, it's brilliant, and it's just a nice little touch to have in the box. So that is it. That is just a quick look at some of the stuff in the core set. We've got our cards, we've got a couple of the dice. There's also ladders and tons of other bits of terrain and gantries as well, but this is just what I've managed to get built so far. I'm going to crack on with the rest of it and get it painted. Hope you enjoyed this quick look at the core set. If you did, remember to give this video a thumbs up, and if you didn't like it, just leave me a comment, let me know why, because that will always help me make better videos in the future. If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really does help me out, and I'll definitely be doing more Shatterpoint videos on the channel as well. We've got the Hello There Obi-Wan Kenobi and Commander Cody box to get unboxed and showcased on the channel, so I'll be doing that one soon as well. So subscribe if you want to see that one, and all that's left to say is thank you very much for watching. As always, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.